Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Watch Out. I'm your host, Drew Pizzulo, and we're at the beach here with Charlie Duffy. And this is the August episode of 2024, and we are gearing up for the NYC Watch Time show. This is going to be a little preview episode of what we're excited about, what we're looking forward to, the brands that are going to be there. So, Charlie, put you on your phone. Tell the people what brands are going to be there this year that we're going to be highlighting when we go do our little previews.
Arm & Strong, Arnold & Son, Art Time. I'm not familiar with them.
That's a new one. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never heard of them either. Bell & Ross.
Bell & Ross has been
That's
there.
familiar. Blancpain.
The oldest watch company. Got it.
Beauvais. Of course.
Wonderful book.
Breguet.
Expensive.
Yes, yeah. Bremont is there. They're usually over
British
there.
Pilot's watch.
Carl F. Bouquier.
Bouquier is the brand that Rolex bought recently, that they've incorporated into their lineup, which is actually very key for Rolex because it gives them the outlets that they didn't have before, that they would have to put into jewelry stores, that they now just have. They own the store. Instead of putting them in the stores, they're actually owning the real estate, which is actually a key get for Rolex. Keep going.
Tasso, I need you to shave your legs. It's gross in the out.
Where we were. Okay. Carl Suchi and Sons, or Suchi and Zerna and Sons.
And French.
I've never heard of that. It's going to be a German company.
Carl, that's Suchy. Carl Suchi and Sons. That is okay. Chopard,
have it, love it.
Chrono Swiss, of course.
Chrono Swiss, I love the designs. They never seem to get me to buy one of their watches, but they always get close. Keep going.
Chrono Swiss is interesting.
It is. Cyrus Geneve, I don't think I've ever seen there. That's a new one.
Chapek, is that what it is?
Zipek. Yes, very expensive brand. Keep going.
All right.
Frederic Constant is the Swiss watch that Citizen just obtained a couple of years ago, along with Alpina.
And of course G-Shock, gotta have them.
G-Shock is there. They really shouldn't be because they really have no business being there with other these expensive brands, but they buy their way in. I gotta give them credit. They buy their way in.
A huge display with everything.
They do. They really bring everything.
Gerard Charles.
That's a new one. Haven't seen that one.
Gerard Charles.
Lachute, a very, very expensive brand, very expensive Swiss brand. Keep going.
Grubel Forsey.
Yes, Grubel Forsey, extremely expensive brand, in the hundreds of thousands. Go ahead.
All right. Hot Lens. I don't know how to pronounce.
There's a new one again. We got quite a few new ones this year.
I mean, it's obviously. I wish I knew my Swiss French better. Oh, H. Moser and Company.
H. Moser,
this guy.
Yes, I think he's a small independent watchmaker.
I've seen them. I've seen them before.
Yep.
Langhane, Langhyne.
Oh, Lang & Son.
No, this is Langhane, Dresden.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's German.
It's German.
It's
Langhane,
Dresden.
Dresden.
That's not a
okay.
That's
okay.
Yeah, and then
that's another new one.
Ferrier.
Who? Laurent Ferrier.
Ferrier.
It's another. Wow, we got a lot of new watches. A lot of new watch brands in this year.
And then Messina Lab.
Messina Lab has been there the previous couple of years. Yes, we've done them. MB&F, very expensive brand. They're known for the unique designs. Yep.
Okay. All right. Moritz Grossman.
Yes, they've been there before.
All right. Nortiche Instrumente Mühle. Lachute.
It's a derivation of Lachute. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've seen that.
And of course, Norcane is going to be there again.
Norcane, interesting brand. Only 4 or 5 years old. They price like they've been around for 50 years. They're up in the 4,000, 5,000 range. They're buying their way in to get a name.
Yeah.
To get some reputation. So we'll be keeping our eye out on that. Go ahead. Parmigiani, there's a new one. Nope.
Have they been there before?
No.
But I've seen them though. But
not there.
And Parallel.
Parallel was there last year.
Yeah, they're a French brand.
They're known for that
That rotating,
unicycle
yeah.
rotating.
I wanted
almost
to buy one of those last year. I was really tempted. That was actually a really cool watch.
They're tempted.
Yeah, they are.
They're one of those brands that have gone bankrupt a couple times,
Oh, really?
like Gervais, and they've rebranded themselves.
Yeah.
They have some funky little stuff. Yep. Piaget, loved it. Favorite watch of last year in the show for me. Yep. RGM, very. Yep, that's Roland company from Pennsylvania. RGM guy.
Oh, okay.
Speak Marin. Now there's a new one for the show. Another new one.
Speaking Marin. Okay. And of course, Elise Nardin. Yep.
What I'm wearing.
And we got two more. We got Ullwerk. That is obviously a German.
Another German brand. A lot of German brands coming into this show this year.
URWERK Ullwerk.
German invasion.
Yep. That's definitely by Baumgartner and Fry. That's what it says there, so I don't know. I'm not sure. And of course, Sideswivel.
Another German brand.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, it could be Swiss, but that's how you pronounce it in German. I've never heard of that brand. I'm not familiar with that. But that's who them. Oris isn't there, as you mentioned.
No.
And of course.
Neither is some of the ones that aren't there. Omega.
Yeah, they're not there. Rolex isn't there either.
Mont Blanc isn't there. Zenith isn't there.
That's right. They're not there.
Bell and Ross is still there, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I
Bell
think
and
you said
Ross.
Bell and Ross. So, I mean, yeah, Zenith isn't there. Zenith, how you want to pronounce it. But these are watches that have been there in the past that just aren't taking the slots. There's a lot of German brands this year that we're going to be seeing. Almost half the lineup is German.
Yep.
I'm looking at
these.
this.
You know, these two last guys, Ullwerk and Sideswivel, that's definitely, you can tell that's from my German in high school. I can remember that. That's definitely German.
Which brand are you looking, out of all these brands that you've listed, which are the ones are you really looking forward to seeing the most and asking questions to?
Last year, you and I were both very disappointed with Elise Nardin.
Yeah,
I love the Freak. It's a great watch, but
We both agree on this. Let's pin on that for a second.
the Freak starts.
Elise
I think-
Nardin.
Yeah.
I love Elise Nardin. But I love the fact when they show their whole lineup. There is so many things that they can show that they did not show. They only showed, like Charlie said, the Freak last year.
Well, the Freak was their centerpiece, and like I see, like when I walk around Manhattan all the time, and I see all this. I work right in Manhattan, so I get to walk right on Fifth Avenue where all these. I get out every day on my lunch hour just to get up and stretch my legs, and I see all these watches in the windows, and the Freak is always there. They put it out in the window. It's a big seller, but it starts at like 48, 49,000, maybe 46, and it goes up to about 70. I'm not going to buy a Freak. I'm just not. It's nice
Most
to
people
look
aren't.
at. It's nice to sort of aspire to.
If they live in this world and this economy,
Yeah.
they're not going to.
But Elise Nardin has so many other really, like, that's a beautiful watch, and they have so many other.
Their marine versions go anywhere between, even used, they go anywhere between about 4 and 10,000, which is much more, like Charlie's saying, this is much more affordable in their line of watches than the Freak would be.
Now the Freak is a freak. I mean, it's like, okay, if you're Kevin O'Leary, you can buy a Freak, and you know he blows his nose with tissues that are worth more than the Freak every day, so he doesn't care. But Elise Nardin has a lot of really just beautiful watches that are much less expensive. They're still not cheap, but those are the ones I wanted to see. And they just
San
didn't have
Marco,
them last year.
Marine Collection.
I was like, what's
so
up,
many.
guys? Come on, man.
Michelangelo, I keep going.
They had a handful of watches last year, but I was like, really? All you're gonna do is show me the Freak? I mean, yeah, I get it, but come on.
He's right.
There's so much
Selection
more.
sucked.
I was just bummed.
It was the brand I was most disappointed in all of last year when we went to the show was Elise Nardin, and only because they did not bring out their entire lineup. They had such a beautiful lineup, they just didn't bring it
Yeah,
out.
the people were very nice behind the counter. The representatives who they got to work there for them were really nice, but I'm like, show me your other stuff.
I'm also looking forward to seeing Piaget again.
Piaget
With the thinnest watch we saw last year, which was my favorite of the show.
I want to see Parallel again. I want to see what they do. Parallel.
Parallel, yeah.
I still want to see them.
They're interesting.
They are.
And they're reasonably priced, which makes them very interesting.
Still not
Sometimes you
cheap.
can get them anywhere between that $2,000 to $4,000
Yeah.
range, which becomes enticing for people at the show because it's affordable.
Yeah.
But you got to remember something. Parallel is not around since 1777, like it says on their logo.
Right.
Okay, this is one of the ones where you Google it, and all of a sudden, like Javril,
It's like, do you really want to buy one?
well, their history becomes sketchy. So who owns them now? I want to know. I'm going to probably dig into them a little bit harder. They're probably not going to like me as much as the other brands will, but it is what it is. Deal with it.
Yeah, well,
so
apparently it's their watch. Like I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with them. For those of you who were there last year, you know what I'm talking about. They make this watch which has a rotating. It's a propeller underneath it, and it's got like it's almost like
a jet engine.
Yeah, it's like a jet engine. It's a turbine. So when you rotate it, they had one watch that had. It was an American flag. So when you rotated it, you looked at it, and it was a perfect American flag underneath it. It was just, I've never seen a watch do that before, and it was affordable by WATCHTIME standards.
Yeah.
It was probably, I think, $5,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe $6,000 right around there, which by WATCHTIME standards is kind of entry level-ish, sort of, because there are watches there that are $500,000, $750,000.
absolutely.
But it was just a very interesting effect, and they had other watches which had that same turbine effect. And when you shake them, you see an image underneath it. It was cool. It was really well done. Definitely sort of a look at me sort of thing, but.
And the interesting thing, I just want to give everybody else the other details of what's going on. So we are going to get there on the Saturday like we normally do. The way we usually work it is we go in around 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then we go to the neighboring watch show, which is the Wind Up Watch Fair. We don't do an episode from there because it would take forever to do an episode from there because there's hundreds of brands, and no, there's
also
no way.
way too noisy.
Way too noisy, and
too crowded. People would be stepping on it.
Yeah, as much as I would love to, I've avoided it. It's one of the shows I just go and look around, and then I will give you some highlights on who I liked and who I didn't like. But we do not do an episode from there. But the dates of this watch show for NYC Time, what dates do you have on this again from the website?
Oh, by the way, Oris is at both shows. They're not at WATCH
Not WATCHTIME this year. They're only at Wind Up.
But they're Wind Up. They have a bigger show at Wind Up than they do at WATCHTIME. It is. Where are the dates? Sold out. October 18th to the 20th, 2024, Gotham Hall, New York City.
Yep, so we will be there on the 19th of October, which is that Saturday. We're going to be getting tickets shortly.
Yeah.
And we will be making sure that we bring you guys extensive coverage like we've done the past several years. Like I've done the past several years before that with It's About Time. So we will continue that tradition. And, I look forward to seeing Chopard as well.
I was saying, speaking of other brands, you kind of got up on that. Chopard has some really, really, really beautiful watches, really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I'm also looking to see Chrono Swiss just has some funky, cool looking watches.
Always try to get me, Chrono Swiss.
Chrono Swiss is always fun to go see. I'd love to see them again. Some of these brands, I'm just not. I forget some of them. Some of them I'm not familiar with, but Chrono Swiss stuck out. Chopard is really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing these other ones like Parallel, and I'm sure there's going to be other ones there that I just don't recognize here that will impress me.
Yeah, the Chopard is actually the most accurate watch I have in my collection.
Yeah.
And I have an extensive collection, so that is saying a lot.
Yeah.
So, again, we're going to have a good time. We're going to give you a nice little preview on all these brands like we've always done. So stay with us. Like I said, we're just pre-gaming this episode to get ready for October. We'll have another episode next month. On something, and then the game. It's like our Super Bowl of watches. October is the Super Bowl of watch season in the U.S. It's not the main squeeze, which in Switzerland, it's the main show in Switzerland.
You would know, I would know.
Ah, damn.
Sorry, I can't help.
That's embarrassing.
It's okay.
Shit. I mean, in Switzerland, they have the show every Basel. Sorry, Basel.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry, I'm having a Biden moment. Basel is the main watch show in Switzerland, but it's not that big. But in the U.S., it's the Super Bowl of watch shows, which is in New York City. And like I said, if you're down in New York City, check out the Wind Up Watch Fair as well, because great. I mean, they have a lot of brands that are anywhere between, I'd say, 300 and 3,000.
200.
And then the NYC Watch Time goes from like 3,000 to 3 million.
Cheers.
You know, the sky's the limit with whatever they choose to bring in. So
Wind-up is more reasonable. Wind-up has a lot of really,
Wind-up
really
is a lot of
small little
micro brands, but they
Oris
do
is
have
about the biggest one they have. Gildenheim's. Oris has a very large selection with all of their aqua states.
They
so
do have a
Wind
lot
Up
of stuff
Oris.
people would know, like Luminox and all the rest of those brands that people would actually know from have been around a long time.
Yeah.
But they seem to cater more towards brands that are more affordable. So you see, I've walked out with a couple pieces that we bought. You know, you
my
have too.
Formex.
You bought the Formex.
Yeah,
I bought a Young Hands. I bought an Atlantic. I bought different stuff from the show, and it's pretty cool when you can actually walk out with a watch you bought from the show, because everything's on 20% off.
It's worth it.
So yeah, it's worth it just to go for the day, and usually we have a great day doing it. So thanks guys for joining us. The show, please like, subscribe, do everything. Give me some suggestions. Write something underneath. And we'll see what we can get for you in the coming months. And we'll see you guys with the results of the show in a couple months from NYC Watch Time. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys soon.